What's going on, guys? Today I'm on my first mission as far as getting the car on flex fuel and getting it pro tuned. I got a Boomba bypass valve and a Grimmspeed electronic boost control solenoid, and I got both of them used, and neither one came with the vacuum hoses and stuff that I need. To go to the auto store and get the vacuum hoses that I need to make everything work, put that stuff on, and hopefully probably tomorrow after work I'm gonna install the TGV and EGR deletes. Just to give you an idea of what's going on here, I wouldn't call this like a series of sorts. It's just gonna be a 3-stage episode. This is basically the road to flex fuel. I'll see you guys when I get home. All right, guys, you know how the auto parts store can be sometimes. I just got back from there, and basically I asked for this size, but I needed about 2 feet of vacuum hose in this size. So what did I get? I got about 2 feet of fuel line hose. So that's what this is. This is for a fuel line, and that's what they gave me, even though I told them I needed a vacuum hose. And this stuff will work, but it's going to be a little less flexible, but it'll still work, no big deal. And I also got some fittings to use for the blow-off valve, because the factory vacuum line is a little bit wider than this. So I have these T's that are adapters, and they'll go from one size to the next. So let's go ahead, we'll get under this car, and we'll start throwing this stuff together. Alright, so once we have all that off, the fun part begins. There's a couple things we want to do here. You're going to have to take out this vacuum line right here. We're going to want to take off the vacuum line off the blow-off valve. We're also going to want to disconnect this clamp right here. And we're going to want to disconnect both 10mm bolts on both sides of this turbo. We're also going to want to disconnect our clamp on the intake. And there might be another... Obviously this electrical connection here, but there might be another vacuum hose or two I'm forgetting about. It's been a little bit since I did this, so we're gonna go ahead and loosen all this up, pull it down, and then we can start putting the new stuff in. All right, guys, so once you have that off, you can take a minute and just admire your beautiful factory turbo. We have all of our stuff here, so we can go ahead and get started. Man, that's tight. Alright, factory blow-off valve is out. Now we can easily get to the stock boost controller. Alright. Stock boost controller is out. There it is. Now we can go ahead and put our new Grimmspeed boost control solenoid in. Same O-ring on there, so you want to make sure that goes in and seals tight. If it don't, you can try putting some oil or something. Mine went in nice and easy. My factory bolts no longer fit, and I didn't get any new hardware with this, so give me 1 second while I find some new bolts. Alright, I found some new screws that look like they were almost made for this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and use these, and they should do the trick. As long as they thread in and get tight, which they are, yeah, they work perfectly. So the seal is firm. I can see it sealed up nice. Everything's good to go. So now, here you can see the final assembly. Now we're going to go ahead, put our Boomba blow-off valve in here, or bypass valve. It's also a very tight fit. Just like that. Perfect. So now, the Grimmspeed boost control solenoid. We have all of this extra hose to use. So Let me just double check and make sure it fits on here okay. That's actually a perfect fit. I'll show you where those need to go once we're under the car. And then this hose over here, I'm actually going to just use the new hose if I have enough extra left. But all we're going to need to do is put this on top here and pick one of these out of here. That's going to be a good fit. Before I get too much further, I just want to show you how I ended up routing out this bypass valve here. So here's the factory line. You can see it just a little shy of reaching the new Boomba, and this actually did work perfect, this T here. So worst case scenario, this pops off and I got to put a new vacuum line on it, but I don't think it will. I think it's on there pretty tight. I couldn't get a clamp around it, otherwise I would have. But besides that, now we're just ready to put all this back together and then run the lines for the new boost control solenoid. So this line here is your pressure source from the turbo. That is going to feed into the top here of your boost control solenoid. And then, as you can see, the second line is going to come out on the right side of this boost control solenoid, and that's going to go down underneath and come into the wastegate right there. So the lines are all ran. We are good to go. This factory line from Grimmspeed still seems to be pretty good. This U that goes from one side to the other on the actual boost control solenoid itself. I've zip tied up the connector for it. Now all I gotta do is put the intake back on here. Everything else is ready to go and we are done. All right guys, that part of the install is done. Here you can see everything else that we have left to go. We still have the EGR deletes there. We have the DW300C fuel pump in here. We also have our flex fuel kit. Oh, that's my access port box. Flex fuel kit is over there, up on top of there. Look at this mess. And then here is my TGV deletes. Let me show you the flex fuel kit. Here we are. There is our Cobb flex fuel kit. So we're gonna go ahead and install that in another video. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate your feedback. So please let me know if you have any questions or comments. But like I said, that's it for today. Next thing we're gonna do, we got our downpipe, we got the bypass valve and the boost control solenoid done. So now we're just gonna go ahead and, as I showed you, we still have the EGR, TGV, and all that stuff. We're probably gonna do, or we'll probably tear off the intercooler, do the EGR and TGV deletes, and then we are going to do the flex fuel kit, and the new intercooler should be here on like Friday or something like that. So whenever the new intercooler gets here, we'll just put that on last on whatever video we end up being on at that point, and then we'll start the tuning process. Anyways guys, I'll catch you in the next video, and hopefully it won't be this long because hopefully by now you know what's going on. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.